Well, in fact, tuning into today's video, we're going to have a look at weather next 8 to 10 days in today's video. I think we've lost the risk of significant sort of torrential rain next week, but it is going to be staying unsettled. There'll be showery conditions, but I think the main thing about next week's weather could be that it turns exceptionally cool, really, for the time of year. Maybe not exceptionally cool, but unusually cool. Of course, it's only August, so we're not going to be talking about frost or anything particularly cold, but for the time of year, it's going to be pretty unusually chilly, I have to say, with winds in from the north, and certainly the anomalies look like they could be anything up to 2 or 3 degrees below average over the coming week to 10 days. That is quite significantly cool, really, for August anyway. Before I get on with the video though, just say about the ads. There's video ads on my pages at gazweathervids.com. Hit play on the video ad, you'll be supporting gazweathervids.com. Thanks very much for doing that. If we've got time at the end of the video, I'll show you a couple of interesting charts from the Beijing Climate Centre as well for the winter, but we'll just see what time we've got. I don't want to go on too long in this video. So we're going to start off with the radar picture from the weatheroutlook.com, just to show the rash of showers that's across the country. Very showery day, more showery than it was yesterday. Really stretched from Scotland right way down to southern England. There's a risk of heavy showers, slow moving showers, hail and thunder mixed in as well. Here's the high resolution Euro 4 precipitation forecast on the website Weather Online. You can find a link to Weather Online on my links page. This is what the model is seeing for 6 o'clock in the evening. Widespread thundery showers there across many parts of the country. Not everywhere's going to catch up, they'll be scattered around, so some places will miss them and stay dry, but winds are light under this trough, so these showers will be slow moving in places, producing torrential downpours, possibly flash flooding in some places, and you can see that really being indicated by these purple colours within these blue colours, which is really telling us that there's a risk of torrential downpours in some of these showers. Things will calm down through the course of the night. It can take a long while, but eventually the showers should die back towards particularly the eastern coast. And then as we go through into Friday, probably not as many showers, but I think it will generate them again, particularly down across England and Wales. Got some heavy thundery showers through the afternoon. It will be a drier day though, I think, for Scotland and Northern Ireland. But again, some of those showers will be slow moving and quite heavy tomorrow across England and Wales. This is the 8 to 10 day mean flow chart. We've got the ECMWF on the left, the GFS is over on the right. This is the 500 millibar height anomaly mean flow chart for the next 8 to 10 days. As you know, the red colours here are indicating above average heights, areas of high pressure, the blue colours indicating below average heights, areas of low pressure. For 8 to 10 days time, so this is taking us up to around the 24th or almost on into the 25th of August. 25th of August, of course, is bank holiday Monday. Now what we're seeing on both the charts really is that we've got a trough of low pressure around and to the east of the British Isles. They both agree with that, a trough of below average heights there. Got these above average heights out to the west and to the northwest of the country. That's quite a bit of northern blocking around Greenland, extending down into the Atlantic. The jet stream is going something like that around the trough around the country. So we're on the cool side of the jet. We've got a trough of low pressure to the north and the northeast. It means that the general flow of the air is going to be coming from a northerly type direction, so it's going to be very chilly with this air coming down from really Arctic origin air, really below average temperatures coming up indeed, and this is indicated by the GFS temperature and precipitation ensembles. Now this thick red line here is at the 30-year temperature average. Look how below average we're going to be for the foreseeable future. This takes us up to the 25th of August here, which is bank holiday Monday. Still generally below average. Even then after that we do start to struggle up towards the average, maybe a little bit beyond, but of course that's in the extended range of the model and the unreliable range. Certainly for the next week to 10 days we can say we're significantly below average here, particularly through the middle of next week when we go, well, that's as below average as we've been throughout this year. I've not seen an ensemble chart as below average as that this year in 2014, so very significantly below average in terms of the upper air temperatures next week. We will be able to offset it a little bit down on the surface with the strength of the sun, but even so I think we'll be coming out at least a degree or two below average across most parts of the country over the next week to 10 days. Now we've lost the risk of that torrential rain next week. as the air is trending cooler, we're losing the risk of the rain. So that's the good news. Nevertheless, there could be some showers coming through at times on those northerly winds. So as we get through towards the end of the month, it may turn a little bit wetter. That's highly speculative. These are the temperature anomalies for the next week. Look at this. It's taking us from the 14th to the 22nd of August, and we're firmly in most blue colours, as is most of France and Germany as well. A complete and total flip around on what they've had through most of the summer. It's been a very warm, hot summer across much of Central Europe through June and July, but a total change around for August. Temperature anomalies here are coming anything to 2 to 4 degrees below average for British Isles, even more below average for parts of France and Germany, where the anomaly is anything up to 6 degrees below average. So a really cool time of it coming up. The rainfall anomaly shows that we're going to be actually a little bit drier than average. Remember, a couple of days ago this was indicating it could be wetter than average. I think that's changed around, and the reason you can see it why this is happening, it's these red colours in the Atlantic, very, very dry there. That's an area of high pressure basically blocking off the Atlantic. It extends up towards Greenland, which you can't see, but it's around that sort of area. The low pressure is to the east of us, and of course the mean flow is northerly, so it's cool, but with the Atlantic being blocked off like that, it does mean that it's not too wet. There will be showers coming through, particularly in the north and the east, but overall that is quite dry but very cool. So here's the generic charts, and look at this for Tuesday. We've got a trough of low pressure over Scandinavia, blocking out of high pressure around Greenland, pulling down that northerly wind across the country. It's going to be cool and showery to say the least. So that takes us through into the middle of next week as well. High pressure to west, low pressure to the east with a northerly flow. So not going to be great. Going through towards the end of next week, no real change. In fact, we may accentuate that northerly a little bit. Another cold front coming down here into Scotland by Friday 22nd, and that starts to shift southwards again as we go into the bank holiday weekend, just really reinforcing that northerly flow once again. We end up on day 10, Sunday the 25th, trying to build a little bit of a ridge across the country, but actually it's still quite cool and showery up to the north and the northeast of the country. The east end of very similar. The low pressure, the trough is to the east, the high pressure is out to the west. And as we go through next week, we keep that scenario: high pressure to west, low pressure to the east, and a cool northerly flow. There'll be showers coming through at times as we go through towards the last stage of next week. Again, it accentuates that northerly, reinforce it with another trough coming down through Thursday and Friday. That could be quite active, bringing a band of quite heavy rain across the country if it's an active cold front. Otherwise, it'll just be a band of showers. But in any case, it's going to reinforce that northerly flow with a sort of top-up of the chilly air coming along. And it's a good job it's not winter, because we'd be firmly locked into the freezer with these sort of charts, I think, as we go through towards day 10, so the 24th. Again, the high pressure trying to send a little bit of a ridge in off the Atlantic, but really we're still in that cool northerly flow. There could be some sort of a system coming through as well some point through the bank holiday weekend. Now, and that could bring some rain. Now, talking of winter, just to very quickly show you the latest update from the Beijing Climate Centre. Look at this. It's the 500 millibar height anomaly chart for December to February. And look at all this blocking that the model is seeing up around Greenland. That is very, very extensive blocking up there. Consequently, we've got this cold trough of low pressure right over top of the country. If that's right, that is a cold signal for the winter. That would be a very cold scenario, and the temperature forecast for winter is backing this up. It's a long way off. We're only in August, so can't take this too seriously. But look at this. We are in the cold temperature anomalies there for the British Isles, and most of Europe is firmly under those cold temperature anomalies as well. A much, much, much colder winter coming up this winter, if that's right. I've not seen the Beijing Climate Centre looking as cold and as blocked as that probably since around the winter of 2009, 2010 or 2010, 2011. Beijing Climate Centre, I rate it quite highly for its seasonal predictions. It's not quite as good for its month-ahead prediction, but for its seasonal predictions, I do rate it quite highly. I've not seen that sort of extent of blocking being predicted by the model since those very cold winters that we had around the turn of the decade. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this develops over the next month or two. It could be that the model is overreacting a bit to the sort of northern blocking that's setting up right now. We've had a flip around this summer. We've got northern blocking now setting the others I've been explaining around Greenland, the model could be overreacting to it. So let's not run away with ourselves just yet. We're going to have to wait and see how the model sees things as we go through into September and October. That is very interesting, what the Beijing Climate Centre is seeing for the winter this month. But coming back to the next 8 to 10 days, well, we've lost the risk of the torrential rain next week, so that's the good news. The bad news is that it's going to be pretty chilly, if not cool, actually, throughout the next 8 to 10 days' time, with temperatures coming out below average. There could be ground frost for Scotland, and over the tops of the mountains, I wouldn't be at all surprised to see a few flakes of snow turning up right on the tops of the Scottish mountains. So an unusually cool period coming up over the next 8 to 10 days. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.